So my name is Steve, and I'm a gadget addict. I've got a lot of devices. I recently got a Samsung Galaxy S7 Edge. It's a really nice device. And I was traveling about a week ago, and I wanted to check if a check that I had written had cleared the bank. So I went to log into the bank, and I knew my password, but it gave me all kinds of challenge questions, right? What is your mother's maiden name? Who was president when you were born? What was the model of the car that you drove the second time you made out with a girl? I wasn't driving yet, so that wasn't a problem. But to make a long story short, I had to end up calling into a live person. After spending 15 minutes on hold with the support people, they finally answered the call. And they asked me more challenge questions, which made my blood boil even more. And so eventually they answered my questions. I asked them, did my check clear the bank or not? And they said, I don't know, sir. They're typing feverishly. Finally, they come back and say, no, sir, it didn't. And I say, this is ridiculous. I could take all my money and put it in some other bank. There's 100 other banks, millions of them probably, that would be happy to take my money and give me a better user experience. And so I took out my new Galaxy S7 Edge, and I snapped it in half. I'm a little bit dramatic. My wife says I'm a little dramatic, I don't know. If my clicker works, which it doesn't because it's not turned on, I will show you the next slide. In the meantime, I'll try to make it work. No bueno. This is me. This is me in Iraq in 2005 in Operation Iraqi Freedom 3. I'm the one with the grenade launcher. I learned to program 20 years ago at the age of 13, but it's Iraq where I really fell in love with programming. I invented a product called TerraWorful. It's a mobile device detection solution. It evolved into a product that we sell at Scientia Mobile, a company that I helped co-found in 2011. My business partner likes to say that we know every device on the planet that has a browser, and that's true. Anyway, today we live in a mobile-first world. Over 50% of the traffic since 2013 is on a mobile device. So it's likely that any visit you get on your site, thank you, is from a mobile browser. It's important because historically, financial institutions are what I call late adopters to the mobile user experience. You guys have a priority of producing a secure site, right? My priority is producing good user experience. There's some balance that you need to strike between the two, and our products help you get there. What is the power of device intelligence? How does a company use it? Well, there's many use cases. One of those use cases is targeting users. You can serve different content to specific users based on their device capabilities. Maybe the screen size, maybe the streaming media support, so forth. The most common most common use case for our products is in mobile web optimization. For example, Facebook uses us to send you to their mobile or their desktop site, or to selectively serve content to the users that are visiting your site. So if you come with a tablet, you might get a different experience than when you come with a smartphone. And our device detection API is used to determine proactively what that device is. The next most common use case is analytics. We can help provide granular information, detailed information about which devices are visiting your site. You can use that information downstream in reporting. You can figure out what are the most popular devices on my site, what are their capabilities, and so forth. And another use case that is becoming more common as we release some new products to specifically tackle it is the slow loading image problem, or the responsive image problem, if you consider that. What we do here is we can use accelerated image optimization. We take the image from your server, and we resize it, we deliver it in a format that's most appropriate for your device. And this is a transparent product. It's not asset management. You don't upload all your images to our server, and then we serve them. We serve them through our transparent proxy. But today I want to focus on something new and exciting. I want to talk about how device intelligence can play a role in the financial institutions. Our device intelligence is instant, and we can give you a good idea about whether to raise a red flag or not and challenge a user. So let me start with a simple question for you. This is a warm-up. I've got some prizes for those of you who can answer correctly. Are these devices the same. This isn't no, they're not. They're obviously not. This is a Galaxy S6, and that's an iPhone 6. We can give you a free here, 100% non-functional Samsung Galaxy S7 Edge. This gentleman right here, Steven. These are obviously different phones, right? But it gets a little bit more complicated when you get to the insides. Are these the same phones? No. Who said, yeah, I don't know. Somebody said yes over here. I don't know who's going to get the prize, but we'll figure it out. Yes. That guy, perfect. They're not. They are the same phones, but they're actually not. I'll give you the prize anyway, even though you're wrong. These are all Samsung Galaxy S6s, okay? But these two are running Android 5.1, and that one's running Android 6. These two are running Chrome, and that one's running Firefox. So they're not the same device. In fact, your device changes over time all the time. Whether you update an app, whether you update your browser, or you update your operating system, we see billions of user agent strings, first of all, if you know what a user agent string is. We serve 5 billion HTTP requests a month right now, and that's just in our free products. Most of what we sell is on-premise, which we do not monitor. This graph shows the evolution of a user agent string over time. The percentage of user agent strings we see month over month as time progresses. After 1 year, only 38% of the user agent strings we saw in the previous year are even there at all. And most of them have gone through a significant evolution multiple times in 1 year. So if you're a financial institution and you're trying to keep track of an identity or a device profile for a user, if you store the user agent string, that's only so helpful because it's changing over time and you don't know whether those changes are significant or not. So Wurfel, it's pronounced Wurfel. I had to Google it in 2002 when I started working on this with my business partner who invented it. Here's how it works. An HTTP request comes in through your application server, right? And your application server is using our module, Wurfel module, which will detect the device, okay? Wurfel pulls out the HTTP request. In this case, you see the user agent string, and we analyze it. We have over 50 matching systems, matchers we call them, each specifically designed to handle different sets of user agent strings. We figure out which device it is, and then we return a set of capabilities. We have over 500 capabilities for every mobile device in the world. In this case, we see is smartphone equals true, pointing method, touchscreen, and its resolution. We return that information to your application where you can use it to make substantive decisions. In this case, we might have served the navigation bar differently to a tablet than we did to a smartphone, for example. Or if the screen was too small, we don't serve an image at all, or maybe we leave some of the other content out. But the important thing is that we're doing this proactively and we're doing this on the server side. So the content never goes to the browser and then gets discarded like it does with media queries. So using Wurfel Infuse, which is one of our Wurfel API modules, I guess you could say, finance companies can track, compare, and then act on changes to these device capabilities. You can roll them into a profile and associate them back to a user or a customer. Based on the changes that you see over time, you can establish a level of confidence in the device that the user has. And some changes of this device are part of the natural evolution of things. So we can figure out this laser pointer. Nope. Yep. In this case, Samsung Galaxy 6, Android, Chrome has been upgraded. Using our capabilities, you can store the previous value, and then when the user comes back a second time, you can compare them, and we can see if the device has changed in a way that would be normal for a single device. For example, if the device name coming from Wurfel was a Galaxy S6, now it's a Nokia Lumia 820, it's obviously a new device. It might have a broken phone situation like mine. If the browser was upgraded or was changed, used to be Android browser, now it's Safari, that's a red flag. That can't happen. Either it's a new device, a different device, or somebody spoofing your device. The browser version going from Chrome 42 to Chrome 44 is part of the natural evolution of things. It's an upgrade, right? This is not something that we would consider a red flag. We don't need to add more friction to the user. This is a good example of the value of our product. Right now, there could be any number of things that change in the user agent string, and if you're a bank or something and you're challenging your users for every little minutia in the user agent string that changes, you're giving them a lot more friction than they deserve. You don't need to continue challenging users for things that are irrelevant. Same with an upgrade from Android 5 to 5.1. I would consider this part of the normal evolution. So using the Wurfel API, you can store these capabilities and track them over time to see if the things that have changed are substantive or not, or if they represent a natural evolution of a device, or you believe it's a different device. Here's an OS version going from Android 5 to 4.4 that is very atypical and definitely deserves a challenge. If they had an authentication cookie stored on that device that said they were already authenticated, I'd have a big problem with that because I believe that's a different device. So what is the cost of these challenges, these authentication challenges that we're talking about? Let's assume that we have 1 million logins per day. 12% of those are challenged for 120,000 challenges per day. And of that, 30% failed the challenge and have to call in to the call center. That's 36,000 calls. At $7 per call, you're talking about $252,000 per day in support costs. That's a lot of money. It's $91 million a year. That's a big problem. If I can shave off 10% of that for you, that's valuable to you, right? And what's the cost of angry lost customers? It's not even accounted for in this, assuming they get off the call with support and even stick with the bank that they called in. Another benefit of device intelligence is that it's very valuable to your marketing and your IT company, or your IT organizations. You can track mobile device usage trends, form factor, screen size, and popular device models. It's great for investment decisions as well. So if you were considering an investment in a mobile payment system with near-field communications, NFC, how would you know how many of your users are ready for that? We can tell you. We can tell you how many of your users are technologically ready today. Many of the world's largest banks, other leading companies, Google, Facebook, for example, are already using our technology. And at the pace at which they're adopting it is accelerating. We're also part of some of the security platforms, fraud detection systems that are less likely to give us permission to use their logo on our presentation. But we're already embedded in those as well. So, if you'd like to know more information about this, our booth is available at the level with all the other ones, I suppose. I'm happy to give you tips on how to break phones, although I probably can't snap yours in half. It's a bit dramatic, a bit of a dramatized experience here. So yeah, come check us out, and I appreciate your patience and attendance.